that's an own goal.
An air of the familiar tonight in the Indian Super League. Bengaluru's first match of the 10th season is special in its own ways. Not just for the rivalry with East Bengal, but the return of a trophy-winning head coach to his old stomping ground. Subplots dominate the big plot, and at least until kick-off, we can immerse ourselves into how all of this will melt into a football match, which, in the end, is all that matters. Goals and controversy, and Clayton and Carlos and Sunil and Simon and Siju and Mace. What else do you need?
Not much else, by the way you've built that one up, Puller. No, it should be an absolute cracker. You're absolutely right about that. East Bengal starting like a house on fire. Bengaluru, well, it's the same as last season.
Looks like a mini BFC team right out there with East Bengal. Like I said the last time, they have a stronger team, but not on the pitch for them. This is what we see. The fans are gearing up for the first home game, and they always bank on their 12th man, and they are gearing up for sure.
What about the stadium experience though, Siju? You've been here quite a few times to watch a game or two. It is something special when they get going.
Right on, Pulla, because as you can see, the fans are still coming in, and as we see this visuals right here, we've seen how fans are gearing up, and it's always special. They may be less in numbers, but they are loud and they can get to the nerves, and that's one man who knows about it all, Carles Quadrat.
Yep, can he do it with East Bengal? He's been brought in, he's been given the budget, he's been given the players this time, but can he get the job done? That's going to be the big question.
Mace, you mentioned that nice story about your history with Birmingham and Preston, how you missed out on going back to another team. What's the feeling like?
I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. You always want to play against a side that you've been at before because you want to show what they're missing. So you do give it that extra little bit, that extra percentage. Clayton will be exactly the same. You know, Carlos will be exactly the same as well. They'll want to win. There's no doubt about that, because then they can turn around and say, I've moved on to better things.
Carles Quadrat and his record with Bengaluru, one of the most loved coaches. Of course, Ashley Westwood, one of them. But Carles also has his own charm. Of course, the trophy. It meant everything to Bengaluru.
Right, and the trophy always is a cherry on the cake, right, if after a very good season. But I must ask, is this Carles, was that Carlos's team, or was he taking off from what Albert Roca was setting up?
Well, it was also what Ashley had set up in the first place. So, you know, Puller mentioned Ashley Westwood, and he was pivotal, winning the league title at the I-League when they very first were formed in the first season. Then it was Albert Roca that came in, but you still have to go and get the job done. And to be fair, when Albert Roca left and Carlos took over, you have to get the results, you have to get the team playing, and he did, and he got his just rewards because he got to lift the trophy.
Of course, this is probably a changed Carles Quadrat as well, with all his experiences in Europe since leaving that job, or since Bengaluru let him go.
Yeah, and I think East Bengal fans are definitely gearing up for this one, because we also have some, not just him, there are many other players returning. Clayton Silva himself, who also not just, I mean, there's something about players who leave BFC and score against BFC, right? And that's one of them.
You think Cabra's going to score tonight then? Is that what you're telling me?
That'll be fun for sure.
It would.
Well, Carles Quadrat spoke with Mace a while ago. Here's what he had to say.
Carlos, great to see you back at the Shrikanta River, where you've had so much success before. How does it feel?
Yes, very happy to be here again. I have a lot of very nice memories from that stadium. I was talking now with Dimas, and we're remembering that it was like 2 seasons that we only lost one match in 2 full seasons. So yeah, a lot of moments of celebration, a lot of moments of be joining with the supporters for the good result of the match. So yes, a lot of memories.
Well, obviously you're coming now as head coach of East Bengal. It took a stunning free kick late in the game to take all 3 points in the last game. But what other positives did you take out of that game for the whole team?
Yeah, it's not only the last game, also it was the game before. I think that the team is showing consistently, you know, in the way that we are working, we are fighting for the points. I think that we have been competitive in the 8 official games that we have been playing until now. So we expect, again, to try to fight for the points here in Cantiriba.
With players returning from the Asian Games, are we likely to see them in the starting lineup? If so, does that mean that you're going to shuffle your pack a little bit tonight?
Yes, we recover Nunga for the team, so he's going to help us in the defensive line. I'm very happy with the work of Cabra. He's always a player that you can count on him for any position because he's giving everything and he has a lot of experience. But today we are returning to the natural positions and Nunga is going to play as a central defender with Pardo.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Carlos. All the best today back at your old home.
Thank you so much.
The first time the two teams met was in the 13-14 season. And the first ever goal in the rivalry was scored by Robin Singh, but it was an own goal. Robin Singh is with us now.
That's the scary thing, isn't it? But so what you're telling me is that he played in that game and he scored for both sides?
He actually did, and he was at the near post and he put in a set piece into his own net.
See, all I can tell you is it was a flick on. That was my job. It just ended up in the back of the net. So at least I did my job is what Ashley can tell me now.
Yeah, but at the wrong end. That was the problem.
A goal's a goal. I'm a striker's instinct. It goes in the back of the net wherever it goes.
Did that count towards your goal bonus?
We'll have to call back Ashley now and find out.
Well, then he went on and scored for East Bengal against Bengaluru as well. What a guy. That was Robin's redemption. And it was quite fantastic, that brace, by the way.
It was fantastic, and I know you were doing comms on that game, and I heard that line. It gave me sort of goosebumps, but that's what happens when you've got rivalries like this standing in front of you. You have that fire under your belly, and that was the fire that's been there forever. I left Bangalore as a happy man, but it made me happier to even keep scoring against the West Block Blues in BFC.
So which one did you prefer, Robin? Bengaluru or East Bengal?
I play for the national team blue instead.
Imagine if
he's
Robin...
sitting on the fence.
Imagine if Robin's career was full of games against Bengaluru. Incredible scoring record.
That'd be absolutely frightening, wouldn't it?
I have you guys behind me. I know you have my support on comms, Bok. I know Pulasta's come in with the redemption. I need more of those. I will keep scoring goals for you guys.
You know, I backed you 1 year. Anand Tyagi had a bet with me that you wouldn't score, and he said he would do a show without his shirt on if you scored in that game, and you scored 2, and I backed you to score.
Let's get his shirt off. Let's bring him here. Let's get his shirt off this time.
What is it about playing against Bengaluru, but more than that, even explain just the feeling of, you know, leading the line for both these sides, because you have tasted this rivalry in a serious way as well.
Honestly speaking, it's been an honor to play for both Bangalore and East Bengal. East Bengal gave me my first chance to come into professional football. At the same time, redemption is the word that you used for Bangalore FC. And goals like these are the ones that, you know, it sets you up to play football wherever you go, score goals, make the fans happy, make yourself happy. And that's the best feeling ever, to be honest.
Couldn't disagree with that. That's what it's about. It's about turning around and making sure that you do your job and that you do it right, you do it well. And if you do that and you've got more players on your team that do that on the day, you will win the game. So that's what rivalries are all about. You've got to get the better of your opponents, then you've got to do it as a collective. And if you've got 6 and they've only got 5 players, you should just sneak the game and you should win.
Robin, we'll let you go, but what is your feeling? Who's the favourite tonight?
I have a feeling it could be East Bengal's night, but then again, Simon Grayson turned it out last time, so I hope we can turn it around and we have a cracking game on our hands.
Wonderful. This is the lineup. Then Mace, it's a 4-5-1, and still no debut for Hijazi, but this is the shape, and he cannot drop Saul Crespo. He's the main man. Clayton Silva starts.
I tell you what, he can't drop Cabra, and he won't drop Cabra either because he talked very, very highly of him there. Chununga comes straight back in. That's not rocket science. That's actually a good decision because he's top draw. He was brilliant last season at the back for East Bengal, so he comes straight back in. They keep the same going forwards. Mahesh needs to give us a bit more consistency in that final third. Been a little bit disappointed with him in that last game with his deliveries and the quality into the box. Nanda as well. He showed last year he can score goals, he can be creative, but with Clayton and that free kick, oh my God. I just hope we have another moment of brilliance. A moment of brilliance like that tonight. Everyone will go home happy.
One of the most loved players to play for two clubs which have incredible history, because these are the kinds of players, the bridge between the rivalry. Clayton for both Bengaluru and East Bengal now.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Robin Singh there when you mentioned favourite player for both the clubs.
No, he said good players.
But Silva definitely, right? And I think he is the guy that East Bengal are looking at. We saw him last game. He was banking. He was wanting to come back, raring to go. And who scored the goals? It was him who scored the goals. So I'm sure Carles doesn't want him to be off the pitch and wants him to be fit.
That wasn't just a goal though, that second one. I mean, that is an absolute stunner. A real brilliant strike and a moment of magic. And let's not forget he did that as well last year, didn't he? Against his old team, Bengaluru. Will we see another one tonight?
Well, East Bengal is not just about the goals as well. Clayton Silva, very important, but they are more aggressive. 75% tackles won. He's changed something in the mind as well, Carlos.
Yes, he has, and it's because he's won it before, so people get that little bit more respect immediately and straight away. You've won it, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to implement what you want me to do. And that is why we're seeing them playing a lot more rounded now. We saw as well a couple of set play changes here and there as well, which are positive for them as well.
Well, Clayton Silva took the time out to have a quick chat with us.
Hi, Clayton. Great to see that finish in the at the end of the last game. It was a wonderful strike. But you looked as though you just held the back of your hamstring at the end. Is everything all right? You're 100% fit?
No, was everything okay? Just was a long time I didn't play like 90 minutes game, so some pain is there, but it's fine.
In your opinion, how much better is the squad this season compared with last season?
I have said so many times, it's the group of this season is so much better. We have like 3-4 national team players in the group. So even we have players who have been champion already, the foreigner players. So the players who joined this season will up the group very much.
You're up against your former club tonight. You managed to score against them as well last season. Is it just another game for you, or is it something special?
I can't say that it's not special because I have great times in Bengaluru, but I can't say also that is my rivals. You know, I have to play good. I have to score. I have to do this every game. But today is special night because Bengaluru. I have a deep respect for them and deep respect for everybody that is still there in the club.
Clayton, thanks for your time. All the best for tonight.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Good. Thank you.
Here's one for you. Clayton Silva scores every 60 minutes against Bengaluru.
Okay, so we're expecting him to score on the hour mark tonight.
On the hour mark, spot on. What about the return of Chungnunga? Here's one player we really wanted to see. Of course, he was with national team duties. Now back, and it just adds more balance, it seems, to the side.
Also some creativity out there for Carles to pick from. And is he the danger man? Can he do it? Because I'm sure he's also match fit because he's coming out from the national team duty. And all these players are looking forward to play. Yeah, my fans would definitely expect him to do that magic that Carles is looking for.
They've got something they didn't have last year. It's called a bench. So you turn around and you look at what substitutes and players can come in. BP Sohair, he could come in and make a difference. You know, that's just one. They brought Hazardi in. There's another one. They've got a decent keeper with Kamujic. They've also got Rakip as well. So, I mean, there's a half-decent bench there with Severio as well that can cause problems.
Well, a lot of fans might be stuck in traffic, but not the East Bengal fans.
Absolutely not, guys, because I think what BFC fans have also done is also irk these guys up, and they have been out there, and I think East Bengal fans definitely going to up their A game on to the stands. It's definitely going to be a cracker of a game, I hope. On the pitch is as good as off the pitch.
Well, the way they're walking down the street there, you would think that they're holding up the traffic, so that's why there is a traffic jam there in Bangalore.
Well, it is quite the stadium, and some improvements as well in the stadium done by Bengaluru. Better facilities, more water stations. So things are slowly getting better. Season ticket holders get priority gates and passes. They're trying to make a football culture.
And that's what you've got to do. You have to build that, and you have to sort of give that opportunity for the fans to want to come to the stadium. There's better food on sale now. You know, all the little things like this to attract these people to come and watch their team. It's massively important. And, you know, we've seen it in Mumbai. They've done it. In Jamshedpur, they've done it. And now they've started to do it here at Bengaluru.
One more return in this game. And none other than Sunil Chhetri. Back in Bengaluru Blue.
Hi, Sunil. Great to see you back in the Indian Super League. How was your experience at the Asian Games, though?
It was it was unique. It wasn't easy, to be very honest. But then the good thing is, whatever we had, we gave our best. I'm really proud of the team. A lot of boys did not have the experience of playing for the nation or the kind of tournament. But for all of them to come without much of preparation and to give whatever they could was good. Was a silver lining. But whatever it is, it was a good experience. You don't play Asian Games every now and then, so yeah, it was a good experience.
Sunil, it's another tough start to the campaign for Bengaluru, the same as last season. How has the mood been in the camp this week, though, leading up to this big game?
Thankfully, everyone is chirpy. Everyone is optimistic. Everyone is... and I'm not just saying because I'm the captain, I have to say it, but when I came here, I was a little skeptical after what happened in the last two games. But everyone is quite optimistic, right from the gaffer to the youngest one. Everyone is looking forward to it. A lot of positive that was shown via videos to all the boys that we have done well, a lot of things that we can improve on. The message was sent clearly and all the boys have taken that on board. The good thing is everyone wants to improve, everyone wants to give their best, and that probably has been in the DNA of BFC, and I'm glad that I could see it after the two losses.
It's a stronger squad this season, Sunil, than last year. Do you think you'll be able to turn things around quicker and get back to winning ways?
We have to, and I think we will. How quicker is something that we have to do on the pitch, apply ourselves properly, but that's what we got to do. Of course, what happened last year does not help you, in present times, but we have been here before. So the message, as I said, is quite clear: to go and apply ourselves properly. This is our home. We are quite formidable, no matter what kind of squad we had in the last 10 years, and we want to, get back to getting some points on the table.
Sunil, thanks for your time. All the best for today's game.
Thank you so much.
Basically, you asked him about the stronger team as compared to last time. Were you referring to the staff off the pitch or on the team actually?
Probably a bit of both. But I do know that he's not in my team of the week, even though they've spelled the name wrong. It should be MACE United. But no, I've managed to make some changes because I had a little bit of help from Palaster, and we have a very nice director here called Tammeh who's helped me change my captain and just tweak a few things here and there. But no, I'm looking strong this week. I'm expecting big points there.
Sunil Chhetri, captain of Bengaluru, but not captain of Paul Macefield's team. That is my takeaway. But brave on the Clayton selection and making him captain because he is very likely to score.
You told me, what did you say a couple of minutes ago? Every 60 minutes he scores against BFC. So, why wouldn't you pick him in your fantasy league team? He goes straight in at number one.
Miss, are you also sharing points with him and Tanmay since you mentioned them?
No, I tried to outfox them, but there's some plenty of good players here in this BFC lineup that would make those fantasy teams. But yeah, a couple of changes today, a couple forced, of course, because of the red cards. So it's interesting.
But this is the shape that Simon Grayson has chosen, back to a back four. We will come to that as we progress and talk about Bengaluru in an in-depth way. But before that, let's hear from the man in charge, Simon Grayson.
Hi Simon, it was a tough one last time out against Mohun Bagan with those two red cards as well. But what positives did you take out from that game with the team and the rest of the players?
Well, I think when we looked at the positives with the out of possession stuff, that we limited to them very few opportunities, and it was a goal that we could have done better with. It allowed them to win the game, but the spirit that we showed with 10 men and then 9 men later on in the game, and we've got to put all them factors in tonight, that we defend well as a group, not have mistakes, but be really positive in the middle to top end of the pitch where we've not created enough opportunities so far this season.
It's another tough start to the season for you there at Bengaluru. How are you planning to turn this around?
Well, we're only 2 games into the season and both have been away against really strong opponents, and we're confident in what we've got. We haven't had players available really that we wanted to get into the team. I think tonight we've got some real attacking options and players that can handle the ball and hopefully create chances, and hopefully we can get off to a winning start tonight back at the Cantiva.
Sunil is back after the Asian Games. How has his presence on the training pitch been for you and also the team this week?
Well, I think it's vitally important because of the iconic status that he has within Indian football, but amongst the BFC team as well. And the younger players, the senior players look up to him, and he's been there and done it all. And
yes, the coach says his words and my staff say his words, but Sunil is there to guide the younger players, because we are a young squad and they will make mistakes, and it's about enjoying football, and that's what he tries to emphasise to the players as much as we do.
Simon, thanks for your time. All the best for today's game.
Cheers.
A bit of a troubling start for Bengaluru, but Sunil Chhetri is back. There's something different though. He's not the target man in this. He's going to enjoy playing with Curtis Main, who in the first week was won the most number of headers, so he can really play. Chhetri can run off him.
Yeah, they can play a little bit more direct, and you'll be able to see Javi drifting inside as well. We may see Williams doing exactly the same, but it's that Sunil coming back into that starting lineup. He may drop that little bit deeper as well, so it could become a 4-2-3-1. He's put it out there as a 4-4-2, and make no mistakes, when Gurpreet gets the ball, what does he do? He looks long, bang, he goes quickly. And if Sunil's on his toes, which we know he always is, if he's sniffing in and around Curtis Main and making runs in behind, they'll score goals. And again, look at the bench there. You've got a Siva Sakti who could come on and inject pace towards the end of the game as well. But Sunil coming back in could be the catalyst that turns their season around this early.
No Suresh and no Roshan after those sending offs in the game before this one. But it just changes the whole context, because these are two players who have been synonymous over the last couple of seasons for them, especially Roshan, but even Suresh, such a vital cog.
I'm sure that if Chhetri was there, he would have probably gone on and told him, hey, calm down, kid. Come on, go on there. So I think, as Simon mentioned, they are a young team. They make mistakes, and that's where they learn. But having the captain back on would probably change these things. But these mistakes have to be stopped, because, they are key players, and we are banking on some really young players for BFC.
Roshan has created 5 chances in the ongoing ISL, joint highest along with Greg Stewart. Important player.
Yeah, he is an important player to them, but that was definitely a red card. Suresh has only got himself to blame for berating the referee and getting a yellow card. I 100% agree with that, but I thought he was very unlucky, because I did not think that he was involved at all in that second incident that saw him get that second yellow. So it's a little bit tough, but unfortunately, when it happens, you've made a rod for your own back. If you go up and start slamming and hammering the referee's not going to forget that. And if he sees you're coming together with another couple of players, it's only natural then to say, well, you made that, there's the second yellow, off you go.
Absolutely. What a big game coming up. Sunil Chhetri, Clayton Silva. Such a tasty rivalry. And we mentioned it earlier as well. There is a connection. When you watch these two teams, you can look back all the way to the I-League and now to modern Indian football. This is where you can watch it, but there's something special about this game as well. Mark Tompkins is also in the room, really looking forward to commentating and calling on the game, because it always produces something different.
Now, East Bengal are looking for their 3rd or 4th straight win, if I'm not wrong. The last time they won both the games, so Carles would want to do that and maybe fist his pump up in the air, showing West Block Blues, maybe irking them a little.
Wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be a very, very tough game. I think that the Sunil factor will play some sort of a role tonight in the game as well. I do believe that you can't just have that experience and it mean nothing. It actually means a lot, and just having that experience on the pitch may help drive BFC forwards.
If you go all the way back, Bengaluru lost their first 4 games against East Bengal. Then they won 3 in a row. But both teams have not had a hat-trick of wins against each other since 2016.
BFC as well have never lost 3 games in a row at the start of a season. Lots of stats to be broken tonight.
East Bengal and Bengaluru, a rivalry which began long, long ago, and long may it continue.